New this morning, one woman is recovering from a stab wound after she was hurt trying to break up a fight. Fargo police say she was injured when she got in between two guys fighting in an apartment parking lot.
It happened in the 700 block of 23rd Street South right around midnight. Kelvin Antoine was arrested for aggravated assault. Also new this morning, it took some digging to find the source of smoke coming from a North Fargo grain elevator overnight. But firefighters finally found it and were able to put it out. They got the call right around midnight about smoke coming from the top of these very tall bins at the Red River Commodities at 340 40th Street North.
It took about half an hour to find that fire at the top of the elevator. Turns out it was an overheated conveyor belt. The damage was considered minor at the time. A North Dakota woman is dead after rolling a four-wheeler in the Southern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it happened just last night west of Gwinner.
A 47-year-old Lisbon woman was driving on a gravel road near Highway 13 when the vehicle entered a water-filled ditch and ended upside down. She died. A passenger has minor injuries. Troopers plan to release the victims' names after family is notified.
It's now 9 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's get a check of that First Alert Storm Team forecast. And Nathan, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful Friday for us.
It is going to be a beautiful Friday. Jordan, you hit the nail right on the head there. Yes, and already seeing the beautiful conditions across most of the area. Seeing a few clouds here on our Valley Skycam in South Fargo, and traffic definitely picking up there on 94 westbound. But you can see, have the sunglasses handy if you are an eastbound traveler. As you can see, plenty of clear sky on the horizon there. But we are seeing a few of those low clouds at this time. Look at this. We had those storms yesterday, that one isolated severe storm move across the northern valley. Got some hail from near the St. Thomas area. Karen uploaded these to valleynewslive.com. Those hailstones. Also got a video from Sarah in the Drayton area of a pretty aggressive hailstorm there. And that was, of course, from the same storm that dropped those hailstones in the St. Thomas area. And also got a picture from the south side of that same storm from the Warren, Minnesota area. You can see the wall cloud from this one had just enough spin in this storm to create that wall cloud in the rain-free base of this storm. Ruth uploaded this one to valleynewslive.com and perhaps even saw a funnel cloud there in forming under that wall cloud. So again, just enough spin there to create that funnel cloud, but it doesn't look like it reached the ground, which of course is good news for those folks up there in the Warren, Minnesota area. Temperatures out the door, 40s and 50s across the board, 61 in Fergus Falls as the warm spot, 46 in Grand Forks, 54 this hour in Fargo. Cool spot is Badette and Devil's Lake at 46 degrees apiece. Things quiet on that satellite and radar. Maybe getting a few returns of some low-level moisture there from the Fargo area toward Barnesville down I-94. So maybe see a few raindrops on your windshield heading toward the Fergus Falls area on I-94 with just some of that low-level moisture being picked up and perhaps dropping a few raindrops. But really the hour by hour showing things really quiet for the day today. Seeing light winds around 10 miles per hour out of the northeast, warming by the 4 o'clock hour into those 60s and 70s. And then, of course, moving into the afternoon, expecting 70s for pretty much everybody. And then moving to the weekend, things looking quiet there as well. Devin Fry has been out and about on the move looking at the roadways, and he has your traffic on the move.
Thanks, Nathan. We're finishing up our drive for this hour on I-94. We are heading east toward Minnesota. Looking at the traffic flow right now, it's grown just a little bit out here on our major roadways, but really not a whole lot. It's been pretty easy going all morning, which is really good news as you make your way out the door. You can see over the westbound lanes, it's gotten a little bit more crowded up, especially around the 25th Street area back there. But still, overall, really nothing to write home about. Things are moving really smoothly. There's plenty of room on the roadways. You see all the room around me here on the eastbound lanes of I-94. So really an ideal morning drive, a good, nice, easygoing Friday morning. I know we all needed that for sure. We haven't had any accidents or anything like that, anything out of the ordinary that could be interrupting your morning commute reported to us. Just be on the lookout for our long-standing construction projects. I know one that causes delays quite a bit is on 12th Avenue off of I-29 and on Main Avenue, so be prepared for those. We're going to keep checking out the roadways, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
Many of us are guilty of going over the speed limit from time to time, but North Dakota's wide open spaces may have gotten the best of one driver this week. The North Dakota Highway Patrol clocked a driver going 132 miles per hour on I-29 just north of Fargo.
The trooper gave the driver a ticket for $285. While most drivers don't go quite that fast, troopers say this is a good reminder to stay at the speed limit. Hundreds of people gathered outside the home of a Moorhead woman who has spent the last 5 years battling an aggressive brain tumor. Doctors say Andy Olsenowski doesn't have much time left, but she's not going to spend it alone.
This is an incredible outpouring of support. Neighbors showed up last night with flashlights and sang and prayed in her yard. Andy has deep roots here. She's a former NDSU track and field All-American, and of course now is a wife and mom of 4.
Andy is a powerhouse. I mean, she was physically so strong, so much grit, and she trained when she competed. It wasn't a surprise to anybody that when facing the absolute worst, I mean, her family went into it with that grit.
If you want to join Andy's herd, as they're calling it, we do have links on our website, and you can find that by going to the Valley News Live app.
A Fargo hospital has allowed a Minnesota family to see their loved one during COVID-19 restrictions. Rachel Safar says her dad was rushed to Essentia in Fargo for an emergency procedure after he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. He had his colon removed yesterday.
Rachel called us to say the hospital called to say that they could, one at a time, visit 52-year-old Corey Refshaw earlier. Now, she spoke with Valley News Live about the emotional time that it has been for her father.
I've never ever seen my dad cry before, and that was the worst day of my life, was watching him cry over Zoom and not being able to hold his hand.
Prior to this, Essentia's policy was not to allow visitation to reduce the transmission of COVID-19.
Olympic gold medalist Monique and Jocelyn Lamoureux will receive North Dakota's highest honor. Governor Doug Burgum announced yesterday that the Lamoureux twins, as they're commonly known, are the 45th and 46th recipients of the Theodore Roosevelt Rough Rider Award.
The lifelong Grand Forks residents rose to national and really international prominence as members of the 2018 U.S. Olympic women's hockey team. Monique scored the game-tying goal, and Jocelyn scored the game-winning shootout goal to secure the gold medal in the 2018 Games in South Korea. An award ceremony will be scheduled for a later date. The COVID-19 pandemic has put many of our favorite summer activities on hold.
But there is some good news. The Fargo Food Drive-Thru Only Food Truck Festival has now rolled its way into town, and that's where we find the Valley today's Callie Hubbard. She joins us live as she's eating her way through the morning. Hi there, Callie.
Hi, yeah, difficult morning, right, Lisa and Jordan? In a few short hours, people are going to be making their way and enjoying so many delicious foods that they're going to be having at this food truck festival. It's a little bit different this year. It's pandemic friendly, and I've been here all morning just kind of talking about what people like John Lindquist with Jumbo Sloppy Joe's is doing. He has this plexiglass ready here, the mask and the gloves ready to make some food, and we're standing in front of some of the food that he's already created. I guess kind of tell us what we have here.
Sure, absolutely. We've got our famous Jumbo's Mac and Joe right there. Homemade mac and cheese, your choice of original or jalapeno sloppy Joe, and then just because we can do it, we add more cheese on top.
Oh, love that. And then this was this is the Hollywood
Hustle, and that is in honor of our good friend Jay Halverson. That is smoked pulled pork topped with mac and cheese, and then just a little bit more shredded cheese because we can. You definitely need a knife and fork in order to finish that one off.
Perfect. We're going to do that kind of as we're talking here. This isn't how I would normally eat a sloppy Joe, so if my dad is watching this, he would be disappointed. But we're going to cut this up. Do you want to take a bite with me, or?
Absolutely. I can cut one up right here too.
Perfect. And then I also kind of wanted to mention too, there's these vouchers that you can do. You can pay $5 forward to a healthcare worker, to a policeman, that as well.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of folks who were definitely essential during this whole thing, who couldn't take time off, who had to be in the face of danger.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to thank them. So as you mentioned, postal workers, police officers, healthcare professionals, folks can go ahead and pay a $5 voucher for somebody's meal who's been essential and who's been helping us through this whole pandemic.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning,
You
John.
bet.
Yeah, you definitely got to head out and try some of this.
Okay, we're just going to take it. She's going to eat, and we're going to take it back.
Yeah, right. She has a tough
job.
assignment. Callie, thank you very much this morning. But let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question, the average woman will buy 220 of these over the course of her life.
It is true. The answer, candles.
Not
I
just
help.
women. I have that many too,
I know,
so no
I
judgment.
buy so many constantly.
Everyone loves a candle. Got to get that sale. But thanks for joining us here on the Valley today on this Friday morning. But we're not done yet. We continue on. Join us for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.